Howdy mates, good afternoon. Here's a second video today over at the Annenchuck Dever Regional Park. So, you might be wondering what happened here? Well, as I was walking through here, I noticed that not too long ago there must have been a prescribed burn that was here. And honestly, I've not really done a video that pertains to prescribed burns for a hot minute. So, from the looks of it, it looks like the prescribed burn was probably done about a couple of years ago. And that's how often it usually happens. They usually do it every couple of years. I mean, you can still tell that it is a bit recent, because you can see along some of the bark is the residue of carbon. So you might be the first thing that you might be asking is, why does the county do prescribed burns? Well, let's just say prescribed burns are a necessity, especially for habitats like these, where we see a bunch of scrub and even our pines, slash pines. For one thing, slash pine is actually very resistant to burning. It has a protective coating along its bark here. As you can see, it has a very thick hide. I mean, even though you can see the carbon residue, the trees don't burn down all the way. They will still grow back in due time, with the leaves, or not the leaves, but the needles, per se. Yeah, I don't know why I said leaves. Conifers don't have leaves, they have needles. But back on the subject. So, think of it this way. For you Harry Potter fans, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with, there's a creature called the Phoenix, right? So, back when I was watching The Chamber of Secrets, which is one of the Harry Potter books and movies, the Phoenix, as it grew to a particular age, it would basically die within its ashes. But then, within a short time, it was reborn. And so, the same thing is applied to the mesic pine flatwoods. The fire burns practically everything. All of our saw palmettos, grapevine, you name it. But then, with any of the seed that's in the air from the fire, it will eventually take root, and it will provide a clean slate, new birth, as it were. And with that being said, that also allows native plants to not grow out of control. Because if that were the case, say the saw palmetto grew too much, that would prevent any other native plants from also being able to grow. So it's a way to keep the ecosystem in check. And also, with that being said, it also provides nutrients for our soil. Because you figure we have carbon, which is one of the most essential nutrients for growth. Same goes for nitrogen. So it also makes the soil very fertile as well for new plant growth. So let's just say it's a necessary evil, just as long as it is controlled. And a lot of these fires even happened prior to settlement. But we now just have a new way of controlling it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, and here it looks slightly different. But rest assured, those slash pines that you saw that didn't have the needles, that's only temporary. Those are eventually going to grow back. But that's an analogy that I like to use when it comes to prescribed burns, is the rising of the phoenix. But aside from that, another famous type of bird that you can see in these habitats includes the osprey. Some of you may have heard of them. They're these sort of like a white and black color bird, and they can be quite large too. They can grow probably, in terms of wingspan, I don't know the exact number, but it could be between 5 to 10 feet wide. Like I said, I don't remember the exact length, so that's just like an approximation. And they're oftentimes a nesting bird. And actually, yesterday I saw a nest over at Stump Pass. And you can also even see bald eagles in these mesic pine flatwoods too. So it's just neat to really see natural processes taking place and providing new growth. So I think this about wraps it up, for what I have to say. And yeah, take the time to have a chance to come out here, as you also have a chance to see the Oyster Creek, which hosts a bunch of oysters, of course, and red mangroves. So alright, mates, hope all of you enjoy your Thursday, and Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks.